How it feels to be a Charizard fanboy for one day.
Fatality. Finish him! KO!
Hi guys, and welcome back to another Show on the Buffalo video. Hope we've all been well. And today we are discovering what it feels like to be a Charizard fanboy for one day. With the most recent deck, or most recent one prize card deck from Third Voltage of our good old friend Charizard over here, with the ability Battle Sense that once per turn allows you to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand and discard the others. With the attack Royal Blaze, it does 50 more damage for each Leon in the discard pile, and so we basically aim to put all our Leons into the discard pile as soon as possible and start hitting for maximum damage, which the maximum damage, including the Leon that you use in the turn, is 330, so it doesn't quite one-shot a turn's VMAX, but pretty much all VMAXs it does. Obviously, there are things that can make that more difficult, but we're just playing a pretty straightforward and an attempt at a consistent list. Most lists do play 4 Charizards, however I feel that with 2 Ordinary Rods for recovery and 4 Evolution Incense to find the Charizards, that 3 should be perfectly acceptable. And that in the case that it isn't, we do have a backup attacker in the presence of Talonflame that also allows us to set up with this fast flight attack, whereas a lot of the times this deck can give you bad hands going first, so we do just tend to fast flight the hand away and draw more stuff so we can hopefully access Charizard the next turn, which is also the reason why we use 2 Oranguru as opposed to 1 that some decks use, so we can hide those valuable resources back into the deck and then use Fast Flight to recover it back into our hand for the following turn. We do have a copy of Pal-Pad in this deck as well, so it does allow us to use a Leon in any given turn if we need to. But it's primarily for the welders that allow us to attach more energy. We have 1 Great Catcher, no Boss's Orders. I don't know if I like the lack of Boss's Orders in my version of the build, but it's what we're rocking with anyway. 2 Air Balloon, 4 the Oranguru, and everything else is pretty much straight consistency. 1 each of both Crobat and Dedenne for draw power, and then Pokemon searches in regards to 4 Evolution Incense, 2 Pokemon Communication, and 4 Quick Ball. We of course use 4 Rare Candy because obviously that is the quickest way to achieve our Charizards and get them onto the board is via Charmander, Rare Candy, straight into Charizard and skip the Charmeleon line. I am using a 1 of Ember Charmander just because it does sometimes allow us to hit an easy 30 just for 1 energy attachment, an easy 30 that we may just have missed with an attack from Charizard, and it does mean we can also hit 60 with it because of Leon, so 60 for 1 energy on a Charmander can end some games quite hilariously, as I've found. 4 Pokegear to find all those supporters, and 3 Giant Hearth just to find the energies, and then 10 energy, 10 fire energy to round out the deck. So that's all for this this deck list, and I hope you give it a go, and we'll see it in action in just a sec. So we are here for our first game with Charizard, and my opponent's going first, so we are going second, which means we have welder turns, and this is a perfect hand to just fast flight if we can find an energy, which I'm sure we will. We see a Stellar Wish Structure in the active. Don't see much of this anymore, which I don't know why. It's one of the best cards ever printed. My opponent may also be playing a Charizard deck, and he doesn't find any Charmanders. So we put this down, go like this, try and make Wisdom this away, get ourselves a Charmander. I was gonna Quick Ball for the Charmander, but Quick Ball for the Dedenne, but these things just happen to work out on their own. See if we can get another Leon. We do, and we are blitzing through our deck. Now we just need to find Charmanders. We don't find an energy though, actually. So after all that, I don't know how we haven't found an energy. Quick ball. I mean, poker gear even, and then we'll put this back. We are going to lose a rare candy, which is very annoying, but we do need to do this. Well, provided with fast flight, we could even just hold the hands, I suppose. Yeah, we'll weld her onto here just so we've got more cards in hand. And we will be holding the hand because we do have a good amount of cards in hand that we want. We have the weld-ons to the Charmander and the rare candy Charizard. So we'll just pass turn. 3 Leons into the discard already, and this is sort of what you want to see with this deck, but the Leons aren't particularly going to matter in this matchup, I don't think, just because it seems like my opponent's playing a 1 prize card deck as well. I do see a Marnie, which is frustrating, but it does mean that we don't have to throw as much away with fast flight if we do intend to fast flight this turn. So we see Crushing Hammers. Is this a Charizard deck or not? No, it's a Dragapult deck. Okay. Dragapult is the last thing that I expected, actually. And we definitely need that important turn of using the Leon whilst this is in the active. We're just going to see a bite. That's really risky for my opponent. We should get rid of this. Get 2 fires. If we hit Welder here, we may be able to do a knockout this turn, but it's not very likely. We do not, unfortunately. We're down quite a bit of resources as well, so we do need to go here and fast flight. So we have all the things that we need. If my opponent has VMAX, Energy and Boss in hand, I don't know what to tell you really, because that will scupper our plans for an instant KO with the Leon. But if he doesn't have that, then we do have the KO of the Leon. So I'll keep up that as well. Boss's orders, of course. Wow. Well, like I said, I don't know what to tell you. We will get rid of Pokemon. We'll weld it to the active. Go here. Go rare candy here. And Battle Sense, although I don't think there's any point in Battle Sense at this rate. That was a lot of good cards to discard, that's very annoying. So we'll go here, do both, get these 2 back, 2 fires. And we will stick the welder on top. And then we will right wing for 160, taking 20 ourselves. So 130 plus 50 is 180, so unless my opponent scoops this up, then he does not have a knockout. So he is looking for the scoop up net to get this. This is fine as we get 3 Leons into the discard pile already. We are hitting 250 on this, so it's not an issue. And we do have Welder on the top deck. I don't know why he's bothering to damage this because this isn't going to be powered up anytime soon. We'll promote this because there's no Absol in play. So we knew we was getting the welder, so we'll get rid of the giant half. Get these two. Welder onto this. We do have this Charizard down, maybe is probably the right call. And we'll get this now. If my opponent wants to Marnios, that's fine. Because we do have 2 battle senses in play. And we can even stick this on top, so we know we can do it next turn anyway. And I suppose we should put this here. And simply take the knockout with Charizard. Shred will by no means kill this. And we do have the great catch off the prizes, so we don't know if my opponent's put the Danny down or GX, I don't think he has. I think he's playing Shield and Sword format. My opponent would need to use this boss's orders now to attempt to stall me for a turn, because if he doesn't, he's going to lose. And we do have access to Fire Crystal, I believe. We're down both ordinary rods. We will thin this out of the deck, as we don't need it anymore. We do have Fire Crystal and we do have Pal Pad. These things are fine. So we'll Battle Sense, get ourselves this. This is all we need. And we'll go into this Charizard. Attach here. Stick our Leon on the top. And simply Royal Blaze. My opponent needs energy and possibly a big charm to be able to get this up and going. But I'm pretty certain he can't take 3 prizes this turn. So as I mentioned in the video today, yesterday, that I was giving away free codes in my upcoming video as well. Here is number 1. I know the camera's a bit awful with its focus, but there we go, there's that. And I won't give any warning for the next one, so you will have to watch and attempt to find it in the next match. Cushion Hammer's not going great for my opponent. But he will simply Jess assault us, it seems. Oh, no, he is going to. 50 to this, I imagine, puts it to 130, but that's not an issue. And that's a well played for my opponent. Because not even this knocks out the active Charizard either. So that is 330 right there with a Royal Blaze for knockout. Boom! That's how it feels to be a Charizard fanboy for a day. Absolutely annihilating big VMAXs with a one prize card attacker. So we are back with our second match, and we will go first. Our second match with Charizard, and we tend to go first just because we do have access to Talonflame. We do not have it here, and we do have an awful hand. But with any luck, we will be against a grass deck, so it's not too much of an issue. We're against an Orbeetle deck. And my opponent just conceded, so seeing that it's an awful matchup, so we'll just go for game 3, I guess. So we are back with the Charizard deck for game 2, and we may be against a Eternatus, but we shall see. I hope we are not, because this is an awful hand, and we are against Eternatus. So, we need 4 attacks in total, or, yeah, 4 attacks in total basically, yeah, because we don't play boss in this deck. Power plant is not an issue, so, and he must have another Crobat in hand, with an energy, I imagine. No. So no energy attachment for my opponent, so that's good for us. And we will put this back. We have already misplayed. We've prized 2 fire energies. We will Primate Wisdom here, and then Poker Gear because we don't want it in the top anymore. And we'll put this back, get ourselves a Talonflame, attach here, retreat, hopefully, it's going to make us shuffle both back, but I know, just one, and then Great Catcher does nothing in this matchup. I don't imagine, so we don't mind losing that. And we do have good cards for next turn. We have either Fire Crystal or the Giant Half. So we've seen another power point for my opponent. Again, really don't mind this. Opponent is playing Crushing Hammers, not too much of an issue. And we do get Marnied. That's a little bit of an issue. So now we're going to have to find Crobat for a draw support because the hand we're going to get from this Marnie is going to be awful, because it always is. And lo and behold. But it's not the end of the world. My opponent does find an energy. So I'm just going to put this down. Go for this. Get ourselves apparently not a Crobat, so another Charmander. We'll put this on the active, put another one down, and Fast Flight. So, not doing too bad here. Got 3 in the discard. And because we have the Ember Charmander, as soon as we hit this, which doesn't seem like it found a way to move this, so that's good for us. At this point, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do. I think I'm just going to go here, evolve one of them. My opponent is giving us far too much time to set up. We're going to put one air balloon here, as we don't mind losing one. Going to put this to Danny back. Grab another Charmander. We'll put this back, as we do need it. And what have we lost so far? Energy, so we want energies back. Go here, and we will attach this one, because he'll need a way to move this and boss, and just pass. So we didn't want to lose two prizes straight away. He just finally found the switch, a bit too late, but does he have the boss as well? We shall find out. He does not, so I don't mind that. It's worth losing that. Just to be able to get off an attack here, which, about time. Really? About time. Yes, so we shall go here, and hopefully we'll be able to Bottle Sense into either an energy or not, apparently. None of these things are good. So we're going to have to lose this either way. Oh, well, there we go. We do finally find an energy. And we'll go here. And we will go here. And hit for 250 damage. Ruthless damage from a one prize card attacker. Another Hammer Tails. And a very powerful knockout from Dread End. So my opponent finding everything so far, but it's not too much of an issue. Providing we can get a welder here, which we do. We've got plenty of giant halves in the deck, so we are going to welder here. And we do have this thing. And we will Battle Sense. And that is very unfortunate, but we'll take this. We have already used Pal Pad, so we'll still be getting 4 welders either way, but this is about to be the last one. So we do need this, because next turn we are going to Battle Sense. And my opponent just scooped, so I suppose he wasn't expecting the amount of pressure that I'd put on early with the consistency of the Charizards. So that's all there is to that, really. And so back for another game with the Charizard deck from Vivid Voltage. And we may be against the Zacian deck, hence the coin. have to excuse the damaged cup. It was a Dragon Ball Z cup once upon a time, but the whole sticker thing, you know, it's one of those changing colour sticker things. It's all gone awry in the wash and such. So we actually have a good hand here, because we can discard an energy, ordinary rod it back, get a Charmander, attach to the active, and simply fast flight. I don't know if I'm going first or second though. Excuse me. My opponent is going first, so if we're going second, which we are, we may look for an early turn Crobat. Depends on whether or not he puts a coating energy on this or not. We'll see what happens there. Coating energy is very likely, considering it's the Luke Metal deck that plays Absol, irritatingly. But this is going to be a waste of a lot of resources if we can find a welder. So we'll go here, put this in the discard, go here, Pokemon that back. Do want to find welder definitely here. So Crobat is prized once again. Okay then. So we can go to Danny, Quick Gear, do find a welder, so that's step one. Done. And we do actually find just enough to keep us going. So we'll grab a Rangaroo, so we're not putting the air balloon to waste. Ordinary Rod, put that Charizard back, and then to Dane. So this has turned out relatively perfect. We even found a Charmander as well. We even get Giant Half to discard the other Rangaroo. I think we won't need it at this point. I don't imagine. I will put the other Talonflame in play, and then yes, we will Bright Wing for incredible damage. Because it did not have a coating metal energy on. It's very likely here that we'll see a 4-metal wall, or just another victory. Okay, so I guess we'll be going for game 4 in a minute. So the moral of the story of that last game was, if you're a Luke Metal player, don't be greedy. See what my opponent made me go. He's going first, so I'm going second. We'll pop that down. Don't see many Theons, so don't suppose it'll be an issue. We're against yet another Zacian deck. We can kill this if he leaves it active, and he does. So this is a brilliant news for us. So we are just going to welder here onto the active. Take the initiative. Put this Charizard on top. That's quite annoying. But we have more fires. And yeah, you just basically want to go over aggro on these sort of decks and save them being able to build up a lot. We could potentially see a turn 2 Brave Blade this turn. Like, anything's possible. Or the energy switch. So Tool Scrapper and a Marnie. Not too much of an issue. I don't mind that Marnie after the Morbaile's already exhausted its ability. as we do have a Dedenne and a Crobat in deck, which we find the ability to Dedenne this turn, which is brilliant. So we are going to hit this at least, and it doesn't knock us out in return. Unless, of course, he's playing a Vitality Band, which would be very annoying. And that's a scoop from ADP, so showing the pure pressure this deck can put on, the same way that any Welder deck can put on pure pressure. So that's it for that game. So back for game 5, I think, and sorry that there's so many games in this video. I am determined to get a good game with this deck, so eventually it will happen. Although, not with this game it seems, because my starting is so bad. This is just terrible all round, to be honest. It's just simply attach here, may as well attach here in case of an Absol and a Fast Flight. So that's the end of that. And with this hand we can at least set up next turn, which is very good. And we will a Tool Scrapper that seems to be getting more and more popular amongst these decks. And it's an attach and pass for my opponent, so we sorry about that, my little daughter having a cry away. She is absolutely so gorgeous. I love her with all my heart and soul, obviously, as any deck would. So time to start establishing things is the point here. So we'll go here, we will get rid of the Pokecom, get the other Oranguru. I'm going to quick ball away the other Oranguru for what we hope is the Crobat, which is there. It's there. So we can always Primate Wisdom things back. So we'll Welder. Probably should have got some more things out. We could stick one of these back, and then Pokecom, shuffle a deck. No Leons as of yet, so it's not going well, but it's a good thing that my opponent is going rather slow. No thing for my opponent. So now we're just going to go all on turbo this turn, and we will get this into the deck, get 2 fire, attach one here, Primate Wisdom, Poké Gear to get a Welder hopefully. No, still no Welder, so we are hoping on one of our air balloons. And we still haven't found Rare Candy Charizard yet either. Still no Rare Candy Charizard. Okay then. So this is getting a wee bit annoying. And my opponent does survive a turn, so awesome news. We have 3 Welders in the discard, so, not 3 Welders, sorry, 3 Leons. So all is not too bad. We could even whack down next turn. I would love to see a whack down with a Golden Oranguru. Who wouldn't? Ah yes, World's Strongest Crobat. Get in! Get in! World's Strongest Crobat. And that's a very unfortunate game for my opponent. So we are back for another game of our Charizard deck. It does look like we're against a fire deck of some sort from the deck box. My opponent's choosing who goes first. I assume, yeah, because he looks like he's playing fire himself, he would want me to go first. We don't mind the Charmander being in the active. And we have quite a good start here because we get to conserve the Welder. Well, in this case we're going to conserve the Rare Candy. And we're going to Quick Ball. We will just go Charmander. Quick Ball. Go Charmander. Attach an Energy. And Dedenne. So, strong opening. Or would have been if I had any decent follow-up. And yeah, another scoop because just the raw consistency of what I've put into this deck. So we'll go back for another game. So we are back with our final game with Charizard and we are going first, so luckily we do start the Talonflame. And we also do get a mulligan, but it does also mean mulligans for us does mean that we could potentially lose more cards off of the Fast Flight, but we do just get another Charmander, so all's good I suppose. Losing the energy isn't particularly amazing, but we do have what I would somewhat classify as an amazing setup. So, we put the Oranguru back, we grab the Oranguru, sorry, we put the Charizard back. Put the Charizard back, there we go. And of course we get the Rare Candy. So now, we cannot Fast Flight, but we can just attach here and pass. And, very look, just pretend that we attached the wrong one. So, I'm really wondering what this deck could be. I think it's probably Dragapult, but I guess it's Obstagoon? Weird deck this, whatever's going on here. This is a Obstagoon Weezing sort of spread shenanigans. Very strange. With a randomous Sableye in there as well. There's no coping with this, no coping with the standard ladder sometimes and the random shenanigans you get on here, but who knows, could be an interesting invention. I mean, it's hardly like he's gonna Dedenne, Crobat and attempt all of Scoop Ups and all of the, well, just as I say it, he's gonna, oh well, guess not. So he's getting that for next turn, so that's fine. So we do go here, and we Battle Sense, and go here, and we Cover Gear, and we Leon. Not the card I was looking for, so we'll put Leon back on top. And, I mean, does 120 next turn, I've got 150. 120, which is the 90 of the Obstruct, plus the Rare Candy of the Obstagoon. So we'd need double Rare Candy Obstagoon, and Energy. But does he find it? I mean, how likely is that? May as well take a prize, eh? And we get a Charmeleon, so not bad. Could be worse. He's got a Dedenne in hand, we know that much. Is he going to Dedenne this whole hand away? Doesn't seem likely. I mean, is he going to Roxy with double Weezing as well? I suppose that's one way you could have it. There goes a Rare Candy, which makes me happy. And judging by that pause, he's Dedennated into barely anything. But we'll see, I guess. Charizard with getting hit by the headbutt headbutt tantrum every 9 seconds. And do we see another loss of a rare candy? No, we don't. It's unfortunate. So right here, he'll probably find rare candy Obstagoon. If he doesn't, I am extremely lucky. But even so, he'll only be hitting 90 damage. So these things are fine. We do have Charmeleon ready to go. We have the ability to put a Leon on top of the deck. We do have the ability to go Battle Sense, and in this case we will just get the Evolution Incense, although we already had one in hand, so I guess the rare candy was a better grab there, and we'll just Royal Blaze. Because we have Charizard and Fire Crystal in hand, and a Charizard from the prizes that I didn't even know was there, so all's good, I suppose. So now, yeah, here's the damage on that, so 80 plus 90 is 170. But we are going to be a prize ahead the entire time. We do need to find our Dedenne and Ordinary and Charmanders and all sorts. We need to start getting a lot more Charmanders down to keep up with this race that it is going to be. So another research from my opponent. He's playing an extremely odd deck. Seems consistent somewhat, but I mean, a Vikavolt would kill this deck. A Vikavolt V, that is, or Vikavolt V. And I suppose he has the rare candy. Yeah, let's just get it next turn. That's fine. So we always promote Talonflame, so it has a free retreat, and he doesn't have an Absol on the bench. And finally, we do find a quick ball to get some of our Dedenne out. Dedenne or Crobat. I think in this case we're going to go for Crobat first. We are just going to burn the other Evolution Incense, and it's also not a Great Catcher target. So we have the other Charmander, that's good. The Swell is not good. And we do have 2 Leons in the discard, so that's fine. We do grab another one here. So there's nothing in my opponent's deck that he can stop me KOing now, because we have an uber amount of things going on. So we'll just hit the Welder. I feel like it's the best option here. And we do, again, potentially have Rare Candy Charizard next turn, provided my other one isn't prized. So there's the end of that guy. And we are back on 2 prize cards more than my opponent, which is good. Hopefully my opponent doesn't find another Chaotic Swell, that'll be somewhat irritating. Let's see what he's going with here. So he's going for a double Obstagoon, or not. I guess he's spinning down his hand for Crobat or something. Oh, Roxy. Okay. So getting rid of a Sableye. Is that 2 Sableyes, or did I see a Weezing? I did see a Weezing. Okay. So opponent would need. Well, he's got everything then, I assume. +80 plus 90 is perfect math of 170. So this is quite the irritating match, to be fair. And my opponent just seems to be hitting the nuts with his Roxy's. But as this has evolved, I don't feel like there's too much of an issue in anything else. So we do find an energy off the top deck. That is absolutely insane. And if we... Oh, I've misplayed. So now we have to do this properly. So we need Charmander, Charizard. I knew I should have Ordinary Rodded first. We'll put 2 Fire Energies back. We will Welder 1 onto here, and this time there'll be no escaping it if I should have put that on top second actually, or after a quick ball. It's not too much of an issue, I don't think. Now we get the Dedenne and attempt to find Right-handed Charizard. Which we've got a lot of outs to Charizard, but we don't have a lot of outs to Right-handed, that's why I was meant to put the Right-handed on top. And we don't find it. How very annoying. So this is hitting for 130. I feel like we just leave Talonflame in the actives to take a dig. And hope that my opponent doesn't have boss. I've seen one boss in the discard. I don't know if he plays any others. We start to power this up. That's a Marnie. This is where it all goes wrong. Well, I wanted a good game, and a good game is what I'm getting, I suppose. So, we'll get this out of the deck. We'll Primate Wisdom 1 back in. We are starting to lose a lot of energy. And we now need to tank yet another turn. This guy. So my opponent's running out of resources quick, thankfully. We do see a Bird Keeper. My opponent no longer running out of resources. This is an extremely long last game. And we do see the Obstruct. Oh, we'll do after the plane everything. Okay. So, we need to... How many energies do we have in play? We've got 3 in play, 4 in hand, 2 in discard, so there might potentially be 1 more. So we'll grab this, grab the energy. Right on top. Do find Welder. We need to find Welder. We do not find Welder. This is just this is just tragic. How many Welders do we have left in deck? We have 1 Welder in deck. If it's even in there. So, if my opponent doesn't play boss, what's the worst thing that could happen? Let's put this back. Let's throw this giant carpet back. Let's see what's in the deck. Just Charizard, which we won't take. It's time to fast flight. Just is. And we don't know if the other ordinary rod's in deck, but we shall find out. We're down 2 rare candies already. And if my opponent does play boss, this is where it all goes wrong. So, we rare candy into this. Step 1. Step 2. Look for ordinary rod, which we don't find. We need that rare candy to keep going. Step 3. Look to see if the ordinary rod's the last card in deck, which it is. Step 4. Welder for 1. And then Palpad, 2 welders, ordinary rod, do both, Charmander, Charizard, and 2 fires. I don't think my opponent can realistically get out of this, because unless he has rare candy, glaring and obscure, we do just win. Our prize would be good. We are going to Helmet Wisdom, put this back on top to get one of the useful cards out of the deck before we use Battle Sense. My opponent just whiffed that Evolution Incense. That tells me he doesn't have another Glaring Obstacle in deck, which means he only plays 3 and he's prized 1. Unless it's in hand. We haven't seen very many rare candies. So I've played to my outs basically of making my deck everything that it can be to establish another Charizard. And we do get Marnied, which gives us more chance to get another Charizard. And because we have Pokecon, we can always put a card back in deck if it's going to stop me from decking out. So we just Royal Blaze, and we just keep Royal Blazing. I should attach to this, but we always have. I don't suppose it matters if he's going to attack with this anyway. Because we have all the cards left in deck to give me exactly what we need. We have enough energies, we have the rare candy, we have the Charizard. So it's a very long game, indeed, but this showed my playing to my exact outs by doing all I can, including making 2 prize card attackers hit for the necessary, making them tank hits basically, and there we have it, my opponent finally scoops. So that was an extremely good game, and I will be back after giving you guys this with the deck list. So, how was being Charizard fanboy for one day? I found it quite fun, and I hope you do too. If you do, give this deck list a try. I find it to be one of the most consistent ones that as that I've ever seen, and you know, obviously that sounds somewhat egotistical seeing as how it is my own build, but there you have it. It's built to potentially get out as many Charmanders as possible, because your game pretty much flows from there, and you have double Orangaroo to stop you discarding precious resources with fast flight, and a lot of resource recovery in regards to the Pal Pad and the ordinary rods. You do have a rough time with the Senses because I don't play the version that plays the Scoop Up Nets and the Zigzagoon, but it has a better matchup against pretty much everything else because consistency is always key, as you're seeing with the ADP player scooping. So yeah, again, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this deck list, give the deck list a try and give the video a like. It'd really help me out. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, please do. That'd be absolutely brilliant, and that helps me out too. And we will see you again for the next video. Peace out, guys.